Folks, on a Sunday edition of SEC basketball at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Starting lineups: Alonzo G, 14 a game, the leading scorer for the Crimson Tide, also averages 7 a game. He's scored over 1,400 in his Alabama career, with Knox, Green, Torrance, and Hillman rounding out the starting lineup for the Crimson Tide. And LSU will counter with Chris Johnson. Boy, he's been playing great lately. He's the team leader in rebounds and block shots per game, among the league leaders in those categories as well. With Thornton, Temple, Spencer, and Mitchell, it's a potent starting 5 for the Tigers. And a look at Philip Pearson, who is the interim coach at Alabama. He took over on January 26th when Mike Gottfried resigned. This will be the 4th game he has coached. He's 1-2. And of course, LSU coached by Trent Johnson, who came over from Stanford and has been sensational as the Tigers 18-4 and 6-1, and the top team in the Southeastern Conference. Mississippi State coming from behind to beat Arkansas yesterday to keep the pressure on LSU. Alabama leads this series 96-65. They won 5 of the last 6, including that one in Tuscaloosa, the only conference loss suffered by LSU. Tony Green with the ball there. Ted Valentine and Anthony Jordan are the officials for this afternoon's game. And underway, Alabama controls the opening tip.
LSU starts man-to-man today here in the PMAC.
Is that your voice or your microphone?
I hope it's my microphone.
Here's Torrance trying to penetrate. Cut off by Spencer. Feed it back out top. Torrance again takes it to the basket and scores the first bucket of the game.
Mikhail Torrance wasn't playing at all until Ronald Steele. They put him in the lineup and he had 68 points in 3 games.
Chris Johnson working his way inside, had his shot blocked by Green. Usually it's Chris Johnson that does the blocking. Switch your microphones there, Joe, as Spencer misses. No, he doesn't miss. 3 bounces and through for Bo Spencer.
Well, Bo Spencer's been a much improved basketball player, and this is sophomore year under Trent Johnson. Excellent ball handler, become more of a leader and a good shooter.
Sounds much better.
Thank you, sir. A microphone problem there.
Here's Green down on the low block, draws the double team, gets it back to G, and Alonzo misses in close. Battle for the rebound won by LSU. Temple comes away with it and hands it off to Spencer.
Alabama is one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league, so you're going to see them try to drive the ball hard today at LSU. They believe they're more physical and athletic than the LSU team.
Steal for a moment by Hillman, but he lost it out of bounds. They did drive on this bucket by Torrance.
Yeah, Mikhail Torrance is about 6'5", and of course he's going one-on-one against 6'1" Bo Spencer, who there you see knocking down the little jump shot, got the kind roll.
Tasman Mitchell too hard over the basket and rebounded by Alonzo G. Hillman for 3. G with the offensive rebound. G is the 4th leading offensive rebounder in the SEC, and you mentioned their poor 3-point shooting, 31.1%, which is dead last in the SEC.
Well, what you have today is you've got a veteran LSU team who starts 3 seniors and a 4th-year junior in Tasman Mitchell against an Alabama team that is athletic, strong, and physical, and you'll see G here trying to drive the ball and use his athleticism against Garrett Temple.
Another offensive rebound after the G miss. Knox. That's a block shot and then a foul called underneath. That's the first foul of the game. And it's whistled against LSU's Chris Johnson.
In talking to LSU assistant coach Keith Richard before the game, that was the area that he was concerned about for his LSU team, is that they did not feel like they were as physical as the Alabama team. And he just said, quite frankly, they don't match up real well against Alabama. And of course, Alabama, the only team in the league to have knocked off this LSU team who leads the SEC at 6-1. And there you see Keith Richard with the glasses, putting that scouting report in his pocket. Former head coach at Louisiana Tech.
Justin Knox hits 2 free throws. And Alabama back on top.
Alabama man-to-man, and the assignment on Marcus Thornton, the great scorer, goes to Scenario Hillman.
That is not an enviable assignment. He's reeling off 30-point game after 30-point game. One of the few times he didn't make it, he had 29.
You're right, Tom. Marcus Thornton, of course, is a hometown product. Played at Terra High School right here in Baton Rouge and went to junior college. Was a big scorer in JC, and LSU brought him back home, and he's been a big scorer here at LSU ever since he came back.
He's had 5 30-point games this season. LSU turns it over, though, so Bama gets it back with a 2-point lead. Open shot for Green. 17-footer finds the bottom. JaMychal Green, the freshman from Montgomery.
Got a lot of good freshmen in the SEC this year, but that's one of the best. JaMychal Green at 6'8", he's probably the best inside threat for the Crimson Tide, but as you saw, can step out and make a 15-foot jump shot.
It's over 3 minutes into the game here in Baton Rouge. Deflected out of bounds by G. It'll belong to LSU.
Well, Alabama, like a lot of teams, plays a little high-low. They bring their power forward Green up to the free throw line. The defense decides not to run out and guard him, and they're going to make him prove he can make it. He's 1 for 1 from there.
For the season, JaMychal is shooting 54%. Deflected out of Spencer's hands again. Some quick hands of Alabama, deflecting a lot of basketballs today. That one by Mikhail Torrance.
Early start time today, 12 noon. LSU looks like they're sleepwalking a little bit, and it was interesting. LSU, Trent Johnson decided to practice in the morning on Friday and Saturday to get his team's body accustomed to this early start.
G gives it to Torrance after the Spencer miss. Torrance step back 3, no good. And an easy Tasman Mitchell rebound. Travel on Tasman Mitchell. Another LSU turnover.
Tasman Mitchell is really a big guard, small forward that has been asked to play the power forward position for this LSU team this year. He's done an excellent job. He poses matchup problems on the defensive end for his opponent, but on the offensive end, he normally has to guard a bigger player. Today, that bigger player is the 6'9" freshman, JaMychal Green.
Second LSU turnover. Tasman Mitchell, 6'7", 235. Averaging about 16 points in 6 boards a game. He's had 4 double-doubles this season.
Good look at the official there, Ted Valentine. We've got 2 officials here today, Ted Valentine and Tony Green, who have both officiated in the Final Four. The third member of this team today is Anthony Jordan, who's an up-and-coming young official in this league. And they're changing basketball, we've been told, by the legendary Roger Roebuck from the Truck.
Truck or Roger?
The Truck might be legendary.
Torrance penetrates, kicks to G. 3-pointer is good. Alonzo G.
And Mikhail Torrance made that play simply by driving the ball to the lane. He drew Garrett Temple off in the help position away from G. And then Torrance found G on the right side wide open for the 3. Nice offensive set there for Alabama.
LSU only 2 points through the first 4 minutes, and Alabama with that 7-0 run. Another takeaway by Alabama. Spencer all over Torrance. Just inside, and Mitchell clears for LSU.
I think it's a nice game plan by Philip Pearson to take the ball at the LSU players. He believes he's got an advantage with strength and bulk, especially with Justin Knox inside, who's 6'8", about 250, taking it right at the thin post player Chris Johnson.
Mitchell steps back and fires. No good. Long rebound taken on the fly by Torrance of Alabama. Tried to get it to Green, picked off by Mitchell. Spencer the other way. Spencer missed. And picked up by Alabama, and down court for the easy one. Green with a jam.
Well, the problem there is we're going to get a timeout for LSU as Bo Spencer drove it to the basket. And when that happens, he normally would be the goal protector on defensive transition. Marcus Thornton did not rotate back to stop that easy lay-in by JaMychal Green. Now there's the penetration we talked about. He drew Garrett Temple over from the help position, and that opened up the wide open 3, and then Of course, the easy lay-in by Jermichael Green was just simply a breakdown in defensive transition, not rotating back by the LSU defense.
So a 9-point lead here in the early going for Alabama in Baton Rouge, trying to sweep the Tigers this season and knock them out of sole possession of first place in the SEC West. LSU gets Terry Martin into the game, 6'6" senior from Monroe. And they also have Chris Bass, 6-foot freshman from Baton Rouge. They'll also get Quentin Thornton, 6'9" senior, Orlando, Florida. So Coach Johnson going through some fresh troops to try to get them started.
Trying to shake up the lineup a little bit, get some energy. Has not been any energy on this LSU team here in the early going.
Jump stop, Martin, nice move.
And Martin is the guy to transfer from Texas Tech, played for Bob Knight there, but he's a guy that at 6'6" can make things happen. He's a scorer, came here with a big reputation as a guy who could put the ball in the basket.
Wild up and under by Knox, won't go.
Great effort by Quentin Thornton right there on the defensive end. Not only defended, but blocked out his man to get that rebound.
Deflected and stolen by Alabama. Numbers for the Tide. Torrance is fouled. Alabama hitting only 4 of 10, LSU 2 of 7. Alabama has one more rebound as Mikhail Torrance toes the free throw line.
Alabama has struggled offensively this year. They're, as you mentioned, Tom, they're last in the league in three-point shooting. They're also last in the league in assists. They don't move the ball that well, but when you can create turnovers with quickness in your defense, the way they've done 4 times already, they've turned LSU over and converted those into easy layups or foul shot opportunities. You have a chance to hang in against a very good LSU team.
Full court pressure from Alabama as Torrance went out after making the 2 free throws. Alabama has Anthony blocking. Three-pointer good by Bass.
How about little Chris Bass, a little used freshman. Of course, he's the younger brother of Brandon Bass, who was the SEC Player of the Year back in 2005. And he ignites the crowd a little bit here with that three-pointer.
Jemison inside, has it blocked. Demetrius Jemison in for Alabama, but had it blocked underneath. And here comes LSU again.
And you can see that Alabama's game plan is to attack the LSU defense at the basket.
Marcus Thornton got the roll.
Yeah, he's just having an all-SEC season. Marcus Thornton coming off a big game the other night. At 30 against South Carolina, has, as you mentioned, 5 30-point games. Just a tremendous score. Can put it on the floor and do a lot of things. That's
his first basket today. Hillman steps up. No good. Kept alive momentarily by G, and then LSU the other way. Bama's back on defense. Pull-up shot, no good by Martin. And here comes G. Lays it in.
I'll tell you what, that was a tremendous outlet pass by Demetrius Jemison. I mean, turned off the rebound and threw it all the way to half court. Now, that's what you call an outlet pass. And that allowed G to get all the way to the basket and lay it in. Alabama just getting easy looks off their fast break and their defense.
G has 5 points in the early going. Thornton off a curl, knocks it down, a long 2. 2 baskets in a row now for Thornton.
Yeah, Tom, when you're struggling offensively, you want to try to get your best scorer involved. And LSU ran a nice set off their secondary break. They run that a lot where they just simply run a big guy at Thornton to screen him. He made the curl cut and was open for the 3.
Yameen Coleman, 6'10" junior from Boykin, Alabama, into the game for the Tide.
Alabama playing inside out.
Brock for 3. Rimmed out. Jemison kept it alive, but then knocked it out of bounds. It'll go back to Alabama. Alabama holding on. Their lead cut to 4, but still on top of LSU. Over LSU, taking advantage of LSU turnovers to score 7 of their points. They wish Shaq could be here, I'm sure.
Yes, they do.
Although Chris Johnson does a pretty good job of patrolling the inside for the Tigers these days. He'll never catch Shaq, of course, but he is among the all-time leaders in block shots at LSU.
Anybody ever catches Shaq's block shot record? We have a story.
That's right.
Over 400 in 3 years.
Coleman came up short, strapping for on the floor, taken up and in. Good work underneath by JaMychal Green.
Yeah, Green is that guy for Alabama who knows how to get the ball in the basket. In the lane, 6'8", has good skills, kind of slippery around the goal.
Half dozen points for JaMychal.
All right, now this is the old version of the Wimp-Sanderson drop zone. They put a big guy at the top. It's a 3-2 look. He will drop all the way down to the baseline as he did there to cut off the drive. That Philip Pearson was a walk-on at Alabama under Wimp-Sanderson, and you see, well, offensively they're going to inside to Yamin Coleman, and there's JaMychal Green just picking up the loose ball and getting it in.
And Coleman commits the foul, as you see JaMychal Green, one of the top freshmen in the SEC.
They're back, let's see. Now they're back to a straight 2-3 zone. They showed that 3-2 drop, back to a straight 2-3 on the underneath.
Martin for three, it rims out. And a pushing foul underneath on Alabama's Hillman. Speaking of Shaq, the big cutout of Shaq. I don't know, that was probably full size, considering how big Shaq is. That saw, but here is the all-century team. We'll take a closer look at that a little later. 100 years of basketball. Marcus Thornton for three.
And there's where Chris Johnson uses his size to see over the zone. He threw it all the way across court to a wide open Marcus Thornton for the three. Great pass by Chris Johnson.
Thornton with 7 points now. And there's a tap in close to offensive goaltending by Green.
Well, Trent Johnson is asking the officials about that. I'm sure we might get a look at it, but that ball came off high, and then JaMychal Green showing his great athleticism, the freshman out of Montgomery, Alabama, back to that 3-2 drop zone. JaMychal Green at the top. He will drop all the way to the baseline when the ball goes down there.
He has 8 points here in the first half. He's got the midway point. Martin, air ball. Thornton fouled though as he takes it back up.
Let's take a look at it, Tom, and see the ball kicked off the back of the iron, and JaMychal Green, nobody blocked it. See the white shirts all at him, nobody there to block out Green. I thought it came off.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah, it looked like it was just barely off. You see all the white shirts converging. Green comes down the lane untouched and flushes it home. Nice play by JaMychal Green.
Brandon Hollinger on to the floor for Alabama, 5'11" senior from Mobile.
Just to finish that point on Philip Pearson playing for Wimp-Sanderson. Wimp-Sanderson brought that 3-2 drop zone when he had the likes of Latrell Sprewell and Robert Horry, guys like that, big, long, rangy guys that could cover the top and go all the way down to the block area in the zone.
Thornton with a steal. No foul call, and Alabama quickly the other way. Blocked by Johnson. And here's Thornton. Marcus Thornton with 11 points. He's heating up, and so is LSU as the Tigers, with their transition, climb to within a point. Timeout, Alabama.
Well, Alabama did the same thing that LSU failed to do, and that's rotate back defensively. Brock laid it in. Brandon Hollinger should have been deep as the deepest offensive player to protect the basket on that run out.
And let's go back to the all-century team, including, of course, Shaquille O'Neal, Bob Pettit, and so many great names in the 100 years of LSU basketball. Pistol Pete Maravich, of course, at the top of the list, and your dad, Joe Dean Sr., one of our all-time favorites, one of the SEC's all-time favorites for all his different capacities. And, of course, no century team at LSU would be complete without Dale Brown, the longtime coach of the Tigers, and highly successful.
Second all-time in the history of the SEC in victories, 448, 2 Final Fours, and 4 SEC titles under Dale Brown here at LSU.
Johnson with another block as he rejects Knox.
Alabama getting back defensively right there. Trent Johnson calls basic, which would mean their simple high-low offense.
Johnson just fumbled it away, but there's Temple to chase it down for the Tigers.
Garrett Temple second in the league in steals.
Mitchell spins, shot block, got it back, couldn't score. Here's the third time and through their hands.
Letting them play. I like it. They're letting them play today.
Brock for three. It's good.
Yeah, Brock had 5 3-point baskets Thursday night at Vanderbilt. Junior college transfer out of Itawamba Junior College in Fulton, Mississippi. And starting to get a lot better for the Crimson Tide as a 5'9" point guard.
Had a career high 15 against the Commodores at Memorial Gym. Johnson, too hard. Rebounded by Alabama. Alabama's holding on despite the rush by LSU. Still have the lead.
It's a great matchup. Garrett Temple, one of the better defenders in the SEC on Alonzo G, Alabama's leading scorer.
Knox down low, missed it from in close.
Knox has got to make that shot. I mean, they're going to take it in there to him. And he's a big, strong, physical guy. You got to rise up and make that. Philip Pearson and the coaches at Alabama will talk to him about that at halftime.
Marcus Thornton. Marcus Thornton lighting it up for LSU. Might have gotten away with a little hook there, but he'll have a three-point opportunity. And runs at them.
Looking at the stat sheet at that timeout time, it's interesting. Both teams have shot exactly 8 of 21. Both teams are exactly 2 of 5 from 3. The difference is Alabama 4 for 4 at the line and LSU 2 of 2 at the line. That's the 2-point differential. And both teams with 13 rebounds. So to say they're playing even would be the understatement.
And the lead is 1 as Thornton records his 14th point of the first half. He's on pace for another 30-point effort. Reach in, slapped away, LSU steal. Tigers chance to take the lead. Spencer to Johnson. Diagonal pass. Mitchell for three.
Well, he's the trailer in the secondary break offense for LSU. They drive it to the baseline and then swing the ball to the trail position at the top of the key. Desmond Mitchell is a small forward playing the power forward position. Very good shooter.
LSU's first lead. The runner won't go. And there's Chris Johnson waiting in for another board. Spencer thought about it. The trailer Johnson. Pull up. Good. First two for Chris Johnson.
Yep. And when you're struggling offensively the way LSU has been, run the ball down the floor, create some transition, some energy on the fast break, and LSU's gotten 2 good looks in their transition game.
Biggest lead for the Tigers. Alonzo G will shoot a pair of free throws.
And we talk about the LSU transition game. There's the inside out. Inside to Johnson, outside at the trail position to Tasman Mitchell. And then here comes Johnson trailing again the play. And Bo Spencer has the presence of mind to find him. At 6'11", he can rise up and an excellent shooter with good touch.
Terry Martin committing the LSU foul. He misses the free throw. LSU's committed 3 fouls now, and Alabama has committed 4.
And Alabama continues to do a good job, I think, of trying to attack the basket on the dribble or going inside to their big guys in the low post. But LSU has defended it well once the ball's gotten in there.
G misses 2. Spencer walks it up for the Tigers. Trailed by as many as 9 in the early going. Come back to take the lead. There's a brick from Bo Spencer. And now G working his way inside. Takes it in the traffic. Tapped up. No good. Still after it. Knox. LSU's ball. Today's game brought to you by Alltel, the official wireless partner of fans.
That last possession, Garrett Temple got a nice block on G going to the basket. Temple, I just can't say enough about his excellent job defensively.
Deflected, but LSU retains. And now Mitchell hits a three.
Michael Green, the freshman, is on the 4th-year junior Mitchell. And I don't know if Michael Green really realizes that Tasman Mitchell can make that shot. You got to get up on him and force him to become a driver.
He's a 40% three-point shooter. Hillman missing, and another Johnson rebound, his 4th.
Numbers.
Spencer behind the back. Thornton with the finish. He has 16. Mitchell with the assist. That's Alonzo G, I believe, under the basket, injured on the play.
Well, Pistol Pete's not here today, Tom. His wife is, but you're going to see little Pistol Pete. Great ball handling. Excellent team play by LSU, finding the open man. Marcus Thornton with the finish. That was outstanding basketball in the open court.
He's here in spirit, isn't he?
Yes,
that
he
was
is.
a beautiful play.
Yeah, there's the nice look by Mitchell. And there's you see the fall by Jermichael Green.
Jermichael Green.
Yeah. Hope he's okay. He's an outstanding young man and a fine player in this his freshman year.
Michael going down hard there under the LSU basket.
Now here's the play that caused the injury. A nice look back, Mitchell, and there you see Michael Green. Wow, he was trying to block the shot. Mitchell passed it and he fell on his side, but it looks like hopefully he's going to shake that off.
Comes to his feet, a man who was a prep All-America at St. Jude High School, Montgomery, Mr. Basketball, twice on a 1A state championship team. He was the MVP in 2006. Over 2,500 points, 3-time Player of the Year, and National Honor Society as well. Michael Green.
Pretty good resume. Yeah. LSU's been man-to-man the whole game. Bo Spencer 6'1" on the 6'5" Mikhail Torrance.
Diagonal pass, Torrance.
Good help.
Too much dribbling.
Yep.
And possession arrow goes to LSU.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. Mikhail Torrance just dribbling the ball too much in that lane. Tasman Mitchell did a great job of jumping out quick in a help situation and forced that loose ball.
Johnson inside. Fall away shot. Temple's no good. Tapped out to start the break, and here's G. And LSU again breaks it up. Goes the other way. Spencer in a hurry. Lob pass too hard, but Johnson somehow caught it and got the bucket.
Yeah, that was not a good pass. You see the size and the length of Chris Johnson. Just to go up and catch that ball was amazing, and then to come down and have the presence of mind to get it in the basket. Just a great individual effort by Chris Johnson.
Big run here by LSU, and Alabama's gone over 4 minutes without a point.
I mean, their high-low offense, the old UCLA high post set.
And G missed from point-blank range.
Got to make those.
Thornton laid it in.
That's a 4-point swing right there. You know, they ran a nice set. They got G isolated on a lob situation over Garrett Temple. He missed the layup, and it led to a run-out basket the other way for Thornton.
17-0 run by the Tigers. Long three by Hillman is an air ball. And then a foul called on Thornton of LSU. It'll be 3 shots for Hillman when we come back to Baton Rouge after the foul on the 3-point attempt.
The Tigers right across the street. Actually, it's right
just
next
between
door.
the football stadium and the basketball.
Correct, and it's incredible. It really is.
Hillman, who had that career-high 24 in the win over LSU in Tuscaloosa, not having a good start to this game. Fouled in the act of shooting a 3. He makes the second of 3.
Those are the kind of plays that, as a coach, you're going to talk to your players about being more smart. Hillman's a 24% three-point shooter, and he was shooting from about 23 or 4 feet. Why would you even go get near him? And Quentin Johnson will certainly talk about that in the locker room at halftime. That breaks that 17-0 run as Hillman hits 2 out of 3. From the floor, Alabama is hitting 30%. LSU, 6 of their last 8 field goals, starting to heat up a little bit. Off to a sluggish start early, but seem to have gotten it together. Mitchell draws a foul as he drives baseline. Look for the Toyota Info Center at RaycomSports.com. That's the Toyota Info Center, RaycomSports.com, your online destination for SEC basketball.
Tasman Mitchell will shoot a pair. We'll have one more. Tasman, of course, with that stress fracture in his shin last year. Welcome back to the LSU lineup. He's made a huge difference for the Tigers.
He really has, Tom, and a guy with a lot of experience. Of course, he and Garrett Temple both were starters on the 2006 LSU championship team that advanced all the way to the Final Four.
Hollinger looking inside, nothing there.
LSU really works hard defensively. Get through screens well. They help out each other well. See him swarming the ball right there.
Knox tried to put it on the floor in traffic. That was not a good decision. LSU comes up with the 8th Alabama turnover. And there's LSU's 6th turnover on a walking call. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Alabama led by 9 early, but it's been all LSU since then. Brock, ball fake. Shot is good as finally Knox gets one. And this one from longer range. He's missed a lot of them right underneath the basket, but that one went down.
Yeah, he's a guy that can make a facing jump shot, but to be a complete inside player and help the Alabama team, Justin Knox has got to learn how to be tougher in the lane and score in the post.
Temple finds an open Spencer for 3. Good. Nice rebound that time by Andrew Steele. Taking it all the way. Shot blocked, but a foul. LSU foul will put Andrew Steele at the free throw line. Enter the Alltel My Circle Hoops Getaway. You could travel with 10 friends on a private jet to the regular season pro or college game of your choice, the ultimate VIP experience. For your chance to be one of 5 lucky grand prize winners, text GAME to 57533 or visit alltelbasketball.com.
Good look at Andrew Steele at the free throw line. Of course, the younger brother of Ronald Steele, who's been well documented, left the team a few weeks ago and trying to get himself healthy to get ready for the NBA tryout camps this spring.
Marcus Thornton and Alonzo G returning for Alabama. Marcus Thornton for LSU and Alonzo G for Alabama, I should say. 36-28. LSU's lead coming to the 2-minute mark.
Important 2 minutes right here for Alabama. They want to hang in there, try to keep it to single digits going into halftime.
Mitchell left open, 3-pointer, good.
Yeah,
they better guard him out there.
Absolutely, and Justin Knox got switched off onto Tasman Mitchell and just got simply caught in the lane. That's just a mental mistake defensively to not get on the outstanding perimeter shooter Tasman Mitchell. And that's the matchup problem that Mitchell causes for post players on the opposing team.
Wild shot by Brock, nearly tapped in by LSU. And finally a jump ball called. LSU and Alabama battling underneath the boards. It'll be Bama's ball.
We've talked a lot about the great scorer for LSU, Marcus Thornton, 3rd in the SEC in scoring. He puts it on the floor, 6'4", nice jumping ability, the leaning jump shot, and that time the 3-point basket off the great assist by Chris Johnson.
That's a traveling call on Andrew Steele. Got the handoff from Alonzo G.
Anytime you get a handoff on the move, you got to get that ball down on the floor quickly or you'll get traveling. Good look at Philip Pearson. Just been ranked as one of the top assistant coaches in the country the last few years at Alabama. Having a chance to coach now and showcase himself, hopefully to get a Division I head coaching job somewhere this spring.
11 years as Alabama assistant.
He does a tremendous job. He's an excellent coach, great recruiter. He recruited Jermichael Green.
Traveling call on Mitchell. Announcers for this game selected and compensated by Raycom Sports. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Raycom Sports is prohibited. 7 turnovers now by the Tigers. Alabama's turned it over 9 times. Final minute.
See if they go inside to Demetrius Jemison here. Is being guarded by Garrett Temple. Jemison a post player. Temple is a guard.
Brock, almost over dribbling it. Knox made a pass. G in the tall timber, taken away by Martin.
3-on-1.
Martin, a no-look pass, and the lay-in by Thornton from Terry Martin. And Marcus Thornton has 20 here in the first half.
Yeah, Martin made the steal on one end and the assist on the other.
Andrew Steele misses. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go to the Tigers.
Beautiful job by Terry Martin of looking one way and throwing the other. That caught Anthony Brock turning his head, and it allowed Marcus Thornton to have an easy lay-in. Nice play by Terry Martin there on both ends of the floor.
LSU can hold for the final shot of the half. Deflected. Spencer got it back. Lost it again. LSU gets it back. Martin now with 6 seconds. Wild sequence here. Spencer for 3. Tapped up, no good. And tapped again, no good by Thornton as the first half comes to a close. LSU took a while to get started. They were playing like they were playing in mud to start the game, but they finally got on track. Went on a 17-0 run at one point, and at intermission, the Tigers go to the locker room with the lead, 40-28 over Alabama. From the capital city of the state of Louisiana, that's Huey P. Long looking at the present state capitol, which is from Huey P. Long vintage, built in the 1930s if memory serves. And here in the capital city, the home team, LSU, has a 40-28 lead. Trying to stay on top of the SEC standings. And look at Bob Pettit, who is Basketball Hall of Fame member, one of the all-time great players, not only at LSU, but in the NBA. Yeah,
Tom, he's one of the 50 greatest players of all time, of course, an All-American here at LSU, and led the Tigers to the 1953 Final Four. And, on a personal note, he was a sophomore here when my dad, Joe Dean Sr., was a senior. They made it to the SEC championship game at the Old Armory in Louisville and got beat by Cliff Hagan and Frank Ramsey and company by 1 point in the championship game that year. And I think that's one of the more disappointing losses Dad had in his career here at LSU, but Bob Pettit is certainly a great player.
And weren't all those players you mentioned later inducted into the Hall of Fame? Ramsey, Hagan, Pettit.
All of them in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, absolutely.
Those are some great times. Marcus Thornton on pace for another 30-plus performance with 20 in the first half.
And he's 8 of 10 from the field. I mean, that's just phenomenal shooting. 1 of 1 from three-point range and 3 of 3 at the foul line for Marcus Thornton. Great numbers.
Green with 8 points leading Alabama. You remember he was injured in the first half, took a nasty fall, and his return to the game is doubtful. He has a hip pointer after that fall.
Well, that's tough. You've seen there right to the left of Jemison, 23. There he is, Jermichael Green, and yeah, he's limping badly. And the trainers are working on him. And that'll be tough for the Tide if they don't have him in the second half.
Going back to those great SEC names you mentioned, weren't Pettit and Hagan then St. Louis Hawk teammates in the NBA? And of course, Frank Ramsey was the great 6th man for the Boston Celtics during their glory years.
Yeah, Hagan and Pettit did play for the St. Louis Hawks, and they actually won the NBA championship, I believe, in '56. And I'll never forget asking Cliff Hagan, now, wasn't Bill Russell out for the Celtics in that series? He said, no, he played. He wanted to make sure I knew. They won it when the Celtics were at full force. Such a competitor.
There's a Alabama turnover, their 10th of the game, as the Tide has unraveled after a quick start.
Well, a lot of responsibility in the second half is going to fall on the junior Demetrius Jemison, 6'7", 220-pound power forward. He'll take Jermichael Green's place.
Temple missing a 3, but Chris Johnson collects the rebound after it bounced off a couple of Tide players.
Garrett Temple hasn't scored a basket in this game, but does so many other things defensively, rebounding, stealing the ball.
Knox deflected it. And a foul is going to be called on Mitchell. Number 2 on Tasman.
LSU's been man-to-man the entire game. Great matchup. Garrett Temple right there in the low post covering the senior Alonzo G, the leading scorer for Alabama.
Get an open look by Knox, who can't hit. And Thornton has it for the Tigers. Here's Spencer to set it up. Johnson whips it to Mitchell. Wow is right. Tasman Mitchell from Chris Johnson.
When you're 6'11" and you have skills like that, you can make a lot of things happen on the offensive end, and great vision by Chris Johnson. But not a lot of guys can actually make that pass, much less see it.
Biggest lead for LSU. Jemison is fouled.
Well, anytime they throw the ball inside to a big man, the defense collapses. You see the red shirts going towards him, and that just opens up some open passing lanes on the opposite side of the lane. But just the vision to see that guy open by Chris Johnson was amazing, and then to have the skill set to get it to him, doubly good.
Second foul on Garrett Temple. Jemison can't hit the first.
Jemison, of course, from Birmingham, Alabama. Huffman High School, was a high school teammate of Stanley Robinson, who's a great power forward at the University of Connecticut, #1 ranked in the country right now.
Hits 1 of 2. It's 42-29 Tigers. Full court pressure from Alabama. Spencer backs it out. There's the entry pass to Mitchell, who makes a run to the basket and draws the foul from Knox.
See, that's the mismatch that Mitchell has on an opponent. He is basically a 6'7" perimeter player, a guard, a small forward, playing the power forward position, being defended by a post player. When he catches it, he faces and takes it on the dribble, and most post players cannot keep up with his quickness. Alabama's zoning on the underneath out of bounds. They did that in the first half. 2-3 look.
And an easy basket. They got right inside the zone. Too easy. Tasman Mitchell lays it in for his 13th.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. When you play zone defense, you're supposed to keep it out of the low post.
Jemison.
We've got a veteran officiating crew here today. We've talked about 2 of the 3 officials have worked the Final Four. They're going to let these guys play. They're not going to go for any flops or any of those kind of things.
Temple. Slapped out. Who's got it? Spencer of LSU. Beat set. Shot no good by Mitchell, and a strong rebound by Knox.
Very strong rebound in traffic. That's the kind of plays that Justin Knox needs to get better at. Tough plays in the lane.
Torrance tried to deliver it to Jemison, deflected out of bounds by LSU.
LSU offensively has been doing a great job passing the ball. You see the inside feed there to Tasman Mitchell. Too quick around the low post. As you see Trent Johnson done just a remarkable job in his first year in Baton Rouge.
Hillman swatted away by Johnson, but Alabama retains. Shot clock did not reset. 10 to shoot. G, a three-pointer, no good. Flat trajectory, hauled down by Chris Johnson.
Yeah, it's always been the problem for Alonzo G, a tremendous athlete, but has struggled with his shot consistently. He and Scenario Hillman both just streaky shooters from the outside.
Temple jump shot, laid it in. Again, too easy. Here's G against Spencer. Score.
Well, too easy on one end, and then LSU just fell asleep after the Temple layup and did not get back in transition. And Trent Johnson will not like that. They talk a lot about their defensive transition as part of the strength of their team.
4 minutes into the second half. Baseline Line floater's no good. Knox, another nice one as he took it away from Johnson. Hillman to Knox. He'll shoot two. LSU continues to rule here at the Maravich Assembly Center. They're up 46-33. Tigers with a 13-point lead on the Crimson Tide. As we take a look at our Haviland defensive shield. LSU allowing 62.9 points a game to their opponents, which is the best in the SEC.
Yeah, Tom, they're also #1 in the SEC in rebound margin at 7.4 plus rebounds a game, and as we've mentioned already, 3rd in the league in blocked shots behind Mississippi State and Kentucky. And when you have those type of statistics defensively, you're going to cause people a lot of trouble.
Justin Knox hit the first of 2. And the second as well.
He's got a lot of upside. He's a big body, can shoot the ball facing. You saw him on the foul line there. Nice rotation. I think just needs to mature, get a little tougher around the lane. We've seen a couple of good tough rebounds by him, but I like the upside of Justin Knox for Alabama.
Alabama hitting 32%, LSU 45% for the game. Mitchell is stripped. That'll be an Alabama foul on Hillman.
Alabama has a little better matchup in the second half on Tasman Mitchell. Jemison is about the same size, 6'7", and a little bit quicker, although he is a post player. He does have a little more quickness than Jamichael Green, the freshman, had trying to guard Mitchell.
Thompson Bowling Arena on Wednesday, most of these stations, Georgia and Tennessee, as the Vols try to get back on track after losing that close one yesterday at Auburn. Ball away shot, wild shot by Temple, but it was batted right back to him, and then he's fouled. Knox thought he got all the ball. I thought he probably did too, but the foul is called.
Well, Garrett Temple was determined to get to the lane and try to draw a foul. Right here, he's thinking foul all the way. See the red shirt swarm him? He got knocked off a little bit. He's a slender kid, and right there just taking it right to the rim with the intention of drawing the foul to get to the line.
Temple hits the front rim and it goes through. It's Philip Pearson trying to come up with a formula that will help the Tide. Remember now playing without Jamichael Green, who took a spill in the first half and has a hip pointer. Quentin Thornton replaces Chris Johnson for LSU.
Garrett Temple is already graduated from LSU, working on a master's degree. There are 4 Alabama players who have already received their undergraduate degree, and that's certainly refreshing to see that. Of course, one of the 4 was Ronald Steele, who is not with the team anymore. I should point that out.
Torrance, a three-pointer is no good. Good block off by Quentin Thornton, and Spencer has it for LSU.
And Quentin Thornton's a solid player off the bench. He's got nice strength, not much of a scorer, but rebounds, defends, and sets good hard screens.
Mitchell back to Temple for 3. Nicely done.
Nicely done is right. The penetration by Mitchell to the lane, drew the red shirts, kicked it out for Temple, who knocked it in.
Tripping foul called on LSU as Torrance had a wild shot.
And we've talked about Jamichael Green and just a very different. There's the lunging attempt at a block shot, and Green just fell on his hip and now has a very sore hip pointer, which will keep him out of the game the rest of the afternoon. You see him right there, the freshman who had a nice first half with 8 points on 4 or 5 shooting, along with 4 rebounds.
Jump ball called. Andrew Steele took it in and was tied up. Possession arrow to Alabama. Go inside on LSU, and the hands are swarming everywhere.
They are. They're very quick onto the ball, really help each other out well, and as you said, Tom, they use their hands effectively got lost there.
Yeah, Coleman lays it in from Andrew Steele.
And Quentin Thornton was on Coleman, and he left him to go help. And there was no rotation there. Nice recognition by Alabama to get the ball inside for an easy one by Yamin Coleman.
And that Hillman and Thornton battling for the ball, but away from the basketball. A foul is called on Hollinger.
Yeah, you see right there that Quentin Thornton left to go help on Scenario Hillman. And normally you would switch in that situation, but just miscommunication by LSU left Coleman open underneath. That's a good shot on the baseline by our cameraman. Alabama zoning as they have all day, underneath out of bounds.
Dangerous pass and picked off by Hillman.
I like it when he goes off 2 feet better. he is some kind of athletic. Scenario Hillman didn't give us the full assortment that time.
4 points for him after that career high 24 in the earlier win against LSU. Marcus Thornton pull up shot, no good. Tapped by G, and then he hauls it down. And looks up, kicks his head up, and spotted the man down court with the pass off target. Steele can't handle it, and Bama turns it over.
Well, here's Thornton, and you see the steal by Scenario Hillman. Great athlete, had 150 dunks in his high school career. 6'1" out of Irwinton, Georgia. Alabama now a little full court pressure. Get it to the middle.
Temple, Quentin Thornton with a throwdown.
I tell you, Tom, you remember what we did their game at Ole Miss, and they just dissected the Ole Miss press. Did it again that time. Get it to the middle to a ball handler, and then attack the basket to the baseline. Beautifully done by Trent Johnson's team.
Fumbled away by Coleman. And the turnovers amount for Alabama. That's 13.
And usually veteran teams aren't bothered by full court pressure and know how to get layups out of it.
Off LSU, it'll be Bama's ball. Second half shooting, Alabama 4 of 8, LSU 5 of 12. Jemison back in for Bama. And Steele out.
LSU, I should say, has done an excellent job on Anthony Brock. Obviously, when you watch him make 5 threes against Vanderbilt Thursday night, that's gonna get your attention defensively. And LSU has kept the ball out of his hands. Only 1 3 by Brock today.
G comes up short. LSU has it. 12 minutes to go. Temple. That's a 3.
Much improved shooter this year is Garrett Temple. Spends a lot of time working on it in the gym on his own. Always one of the first guys out here before the game working on his shot.
Double figures for him here. That's 10.
And he's guarding Alonzo G. And just, I made a mistake. Terry Martin is guarding Alonzo G.
Nearly an over and back. And then a missed layup. And a run out. Mitchell fouled by Jemison. 11:23 left in this SEC West matchup. LSU Tigers trying to stay on top. Have the lead. Alabama 56-39. These two teams met earlier in January in Tuscaloosa. The game was close when Bo Spencer hit a 3 to bring LSU within 3 points with 29 seconds left. But Scenario Hillman with a career-high 24, including 4 free throws in the final 6 seconds, sealed the win for Alabama as they beat LSU 65-59.
A little bit of a controversial play there on that steal by Hillman in that earlier LSU-Alabama game. The LSU faithful thought maybe there was a foul, but there was no call. And that's what we've had today. We've had a hard-fought game that's well officiated and letting these kids play. There's been a lot of banging and knocking. I like it when it's that way, especially if it's even on both sides.
See Tasman Mitchell's afternoon closing in on a double-double. LSU, of course, hasn't lost a conference game since that January 11th setback in Tuscaloosa. G rebounds the miss. three. The all-the-way shot is an air ball. Well, he had the great game in Tuscaloosa, but he struggled today, only 1 of 7.
Yeah, the LSU obviously showed the film to their players and said there's no way we can let Scenario Hillman get off on us. And defensively done an excellent job on him, as well as Alonzo G. He only has 7 points, the leading scorer for the Tide.
Terry Martin's fall away. It's good. And the lead swells to 20 with an 8-0 run. Knox short. Followed by G is no good, and then batted out by LSU.
Well, Terry Martin is a 6'6" guy, can put it on the floor, rise up. He's an excellent shooter. Had a big rep coming out of Monroe, Louisiana, out of high school. Went to Texas Tech originally, as I mentioned, and now back at home state LSU.
G draws a foul as he puts up the half hook. LSU with veteran players, talented players, going to be a real factor here in the second half of the SEC season as they were. In fact, Bruce Pearl telling us yesterday he thinks they're the best team in the SEC, and you'd have to say so.
Well, I would agree, and you know, at the halfway mark of the league race right now, if LSU does hold on here this afternoon at 7-1, I think they have the favorable schedule because they don't have to, you know, battle with the Eastern Division teams, but only one time. Only have to play Kentucky once, Florida once. They already have a win over Tennessee and Knoxville, so we'll have to see. But I think LSU looks good right now.
Nice cut to the basket by Storm Warren, and Temple hit him with a pass. It results in an Alabama foul.
And you know, Tom, in the 6 LSU victories in SEC play, their margin of victory is 18 points a game. I mean, they're not just winning; they are winning convincingly. Of course, up 20 here this afternoon. I agree with Bruce Pearl. I think right now LSU clearly looks like the best team in the league, but you know, still a lot of basketball left to be played.
LSU in the second half has hit 7 of 14 shots while holding Bama to 4 of 13. 2 free throws by Warren. Ball fake by Jemison and a foul by Warren. Jemison did it nicely, gave the ball fake, popped it in and got the foul. Alltel congratulates Cheryl Kells of Fostoria, Ohio, the second grand prize winner in Alltel's My Circle Hoops Getaway. On February 10th, Cheryl and her circle of 10 friends will travel on a private jet to Los Angeles to watch her favorite pro team in action. I don't know if it's the Clippers or the Lakers.
I would say it's probably the Lakers. If I had to guess.
Plus, they'll enjoy the game from their private suite. It'll be the VIP trip of a lifetime. For your chance to win, text GAME to 57533 or visit alltelbasketball.com.
Now, how do we get to be friends with Cheryl?
No, 10 of them. Maybe, you know, maybe she's a little short on the friends.
Love to go out and watch the Lakers. Good job by Alabama. What they recognize is that the freshman Storm Warren, who has not played a lot, is defending the junior Demetrius Jemison. So they're trying to isolate him in the low post. Got it to him earlier, and now he's going to get a chance to go to the line and shoot some foul shots.
Trent Johnson sending Chris Johnson back in.
You know, it's always fun to kind of speculate on postseason awards, and halfway point of the year, Coach of the Year honors. You know, Trent Johnson certainly would be a candidate. I think Darren Horde at South Carolina has to be in that conversation, and Rick Stansbury at Mississippi State for what he's done with a 4-guard lineup.
I'll have you weigh in on the Felton and Gottfried midseason departures. There's been a lot of controversy over that. Was it the right thing to do, the proper thing to do, or should you wait to the end of the season?
Well, I think it's the right thing, and I say this because we're in the electronic age now, Tom, and the speculation and the negativity that surrounds a coach that's on the quote-unquote hot seat, it's damaging to the program, and it's tough on the players. So I think by just eliminating the negativity, eliminating the speculation, you know, it allows the kids to free up and have some fun, and they can move on with, you know, whatever direction they want to go in.
Does it also give you a head start on selecting a new coach?
Well, it does. The only problem is it's hard to make contact with coaches that are still, you know, coaching their team, and the ones you want probably are going to be in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. So, but I think they can definitely start putting together a short list of guys they want to contact immediately after the year's over.
Terry Martin hits the free throw.
You know, this is a tough business, and you know, we're in an age now in college athletics where these universities are pouring millions of dollars into facilities, millions of dollars into coaches' contracts. LSU's building a $25 million practice facility right outside this building. You know, and when you spend that kind of money and make that kind of an investment, they want a return on their investment by competing for championships.
Brock launches a long three, front rim, into the hands of Martin of LSU.
Good defense by Chris Bass, the freshman point guard, who is very solid out front.
Marcus Thornton hammered by Knox. He'll shoot a couple. Marcus has been pretty quiet in the second half after scoring 20 in the first. Check some other scores there. Illinois and Purdue. Post-game Dayton and Charlotte. St. John's at halftime leading the Cardinals. And here's Marcus looking for his first points of the second half. He got the free throw.
You know, that's the sign of a good team. Is you've got a leading scorer with 20 points at half and comes out in the second half and doesn't score at all, but LSU still, you know, advances the lead without his scoring. That's just the sign of a good, complete, well-rounded basketball team.
9 minutes remaining. Alonzo G held in check by the LSU defense today, and a block shot there by Johnson. And Bass sets it up. Chris Johnson short on that shot. Maybe Knox got a piece, or maybe a piece of the arm.
Again, the referees are letting them play. I thought that was a foul, but they've called it evenly on both ends, but they're letting them play physical today.
Coleman lost it on the way up. Mitchell. Chris Johnson blocked by Knox.
Great job by Knox, showing his ability. Hey, he could be a very, very good inside player for Alabama. Just a sophomore. Take that back. He is a junior.
Brock forced that one. And Mitchell another rebound. LSU players able to pad their stats here. That's 9 rebounds for Tasman. One more for a double-double. He has 14 points. It actually was his 10th rebound, so he does have the double-double now. 16 points and 10 rebounds, Tasman Mitchell.
And Tasman knew when it left his hand that he had missed it, and he came down on the court and quickly got to the loose ball to make the putback. That's just a heady play by Tasman Mitchell.
Tasman with his 5th double-double of the season and the 13th of his LSU career. Trent Johnson and company in command. 66-43 LSU at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge. This Wednesday, our Raycom cameras will be at Thompson Bowling Arena for our all-tell matchup between Georgia and Tennessee. The Vols trying to bounce back after their loss at Auburn yesterday. And the Bulldogs looking for their first conference victory. Georgia and Tennessee, that's 8 Eastern, 7 Central, our Raycom all-tell SEC game of the week. And should Florida lose at Rupp Arena on Tuesday, you'll have Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Kentucky, all with 3 losses in the East. Nice shot off glass for Hillman. 6 points for Scenario. But too little too late for the Crimson Tide with 7:14 left. Down big to LSU. 66-45 as the eye of the tiger from the Bayou Brass of the LSU pep band. Try Sonic's new everyday value menu. It's the best way to satisfy your Sonic cravings without breaking the bank. It delivers the great variety you'd expect, and all for only $1 each. Try the Junior Deluxe Burger, Chicken Strip Sandwich, the Junior Breakfast Burrito, and many other items, all for $1 each, all day, every day. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Alabama's going to press on the made foul shot. This is a man-to-man press now. And LSU again gets it to the middle and creates numbers.
Farr with a lob pass that goes off Warren's hand and out of bounds. LSU turnover.
Well, they mishandle the ball, but they attack the pressure exactly the way you want to. Get it to a ball handler in the middle of the floor, take it and create numbers to the basket and look for the easy layup opportunities.
Gilman with a little crossover, a spin, and up and under, and a bad pass.
Yeah, poor spacing right there. You know, he just got jammed in and didn't have enough spacing to make that pass to his teammate Jemison inside.
A bad LSU pass as the turnovers mount. 13 apiece now.
And Tom, I wanted to get back to your point about the possibility Tuesday night, maybe Kentucky beating Florida. It's a good ball game in Lexington. That would make the Eastern Division all with 3 losses. And I think that's the reason why LSU, has a leg up right now for the SEC regular season championship, because they're already with just 1 loss, and the Eastern Division is going to beat each other up on that side, I think.
Gilman with his 9th point. Mississippi State is hanging right in there.
They are.
LSU.
They are. And they host LSU Wednesday night. That'll be a huge game in the SEC.
Chris Johnson. I think he's really an underappreciated player for the Tigers.
I would agree with you. He just, we've seen him do so many things today. Passing the ball, blocking shots. A nice jump hook that last time. Numbers again. Bass. And I tell you, that little guy's an unsung hero, too, for LSU. Chris Bass, younger brother of Brandon Bass, as we mentioned, and doesn't make any mistakes, rarely turns the ball over, tough defender, and has made a couple of baskets today. Good off-the-bench guard for LSU, Chris Bass.
Bass commits that foul. Trent Johnson didn't have much trouble acclimating to the SEC, did he? He's been his entire career in the West and came right into Baton Rouge and has his Tigers in first place.
He does, Tom. He was the Pac-10 Coach of the Year last year at Stanford, and it was quite a coup to get him here. He's never really been in the South. He had spent a couple of years as an assistant at Rice, and I don't guess you could call that the Southwest, not the Deep South. And but he's a very bright guy. He just demands excellence of his players on and off the floor. I think they struggled with him a little bit early. He suspended Terry Martin for 4 games for complaining about his playing time, and he's brought him back, and Terry Martin is playing better. But this veteran team with the leadership of Tasman Mitchell and Garrett Temple has really responded to the coaching of Trent Johnson here at LSU.
Torrance with a pair of free throws for Alabama. Coming down to the 5-minute mark. Hard to believe that Alabama had a 9-point lead in the early going.
I know it.
It's been all LSU since that point. Bass, a lob missed by LSU as Graham tried to jam it down. Delwyn Graham.
Well, the crowd liked the effort.
They did.
They liked the effort. That was a good look. I never miss those dunks. You probably throw a lob to me like that.
Off a trampoline.
Exactly.
Today's game brought to you by Alltel, the official wireless partner of fans. Alex Farr will shoot at the free throw line.
Alex Farr doesn't get to play as much this year, but next year LSU loses 5 seniors, key players off this team. So this young man, number 30, Alex Farr, will be called on to play quite a bit more. He's an excellent shooter, ball handler. He is a junior from Phoenix, Arizona. tough day. He and Alonzo G both. And I think that's probably the #1 key. LSU has defended the perimeter players, Hillman and G and Anthony Brock, extremely well today.
And Bama, too, playing without Jermichael Green, who was injured in the first half, hip pointer. So a tough assignment, especially when you lose one of your best players. Torrance made a nice ball fake. Quentin Thornton with a foul. It was either he or Bass. They will call it on Thornton.
Thornton got his money's worth on that one.
8 o'clock Eastern time start from Thompson Bowling. Tennessee will be favored to get a win against the Bulldogs. But Tennessee not invincible at home as we've seen this season.
You're just going to stay in Knoxville all week, are you? We're there next Saturday, aren't we?
For Vanderbilt, yes. Vanderbilt in Tennessee. Bruce Pearl has had the orange blazer dry cleaned. He's getting ready to don it for Saturday's game.
That's great. Had to get the permission of Ray Mears, though, before he could do that. I like that.
Barr lost out of bounds, kind of whiffed on it.
But I hate it when I brag on a player like I just did with Alex Barr, and then he has an unforced error.
Right in front of you, too.
Exactly.
Maybe he was trying to pass you the ball.
Give me an assist.
Block shot by Knox. Graham had it rejected by Knox. Numbers for Bama, 3-on-2. Hillman didn't need to do that. Mishandled a 3-on-2, did the Tide. Bass, the no-look, and Thornton the layup.
Beautiful job. Chris Bass, nice patience down the floor, waiting for Thornton to get into the play so he could give him the ball for the layup. That was an excellent fast break orchestrated by little number 4, Chris Bass. I like that kid.
Philip Pearson calls for an Alabama timeout. What would he be trying to teach here to his team?
He is talking about pride. Game is basically over, and he doesn't want his guys to let down the last 3:26. Forget the scoreboard and play every possession like it's the game-winning possession.
The SEC is down this season, but it sure makes for meaningful games.
Exciting race.
Close games.
You're exactly right. I mean, the game Tuesday night in Rupp Arena is a huge game in the East, and then Wednesday night, the LSU at Mississippi State game is a critical game for both teams in the West.
Torrance has 10 points. They may not be on the national radar, but evenly matched SEC teams.
Yeah, and all these games are so important, Tom, for the SEC teams to try to get into the NCAA tournament. Because with the RPI the way it is right now, these SEC teams have got to win a lot of conference games.
Torrance intercepts and is fouled. No, they just say out of bounds. Out of bounds to Alabama. With 2:51 left, LSU about to avenge its only conference loss of the season and stay atop the SEC, up by 20. Back after this from your local SEC. With that looming trip to Starkville, will remain atop the SEC standings.
Mississippi State yesterday in a win at home against Arkansas made 16 three-point shots. They made 14, I believe, on Tuesday night or Monday night at Rupp Arena. Tuesday night at Rupp Arena. That's 30 three-point shots Mississippi State has made in their last 2 games. That is absolutely unbelievable.
And they were deep, too.
Yes, yes.
Alabama runs a play off the out of bounds and gets the throw down by Jemison.
That's a great job by Torrance, who has really helped Alabama a lot since Ronald Steele defected. It's good to see Demetrius Jemison get some playing time under Philip Pearson. He wasn't playing much under Mark Gottfried, and the one thing Philip Pearson has done here with this Alabama team, he's playing 10 guys and giving everybody an opportunity to show what they can do.
Torrance missed it. Out of bounds. Giving the Alabama players, too, a chance to showcase their skills for the incoming staff. Get some game playing time on tape that the new coaches will undoubtedly look at when they take over. Hillman, ball fake and then laid it in. Nice move by Scenario Hillman, who, despite the poor shooting afternoon, has 11 points. Ragged sequence there as Graham lost it. Lonzo G gave it up. Shot no good by Knox.
Well, these are guys you're going to see next year a lot for LSU after they lose the 5 seniors. And I believe that Alex Farr got a little tailwind on that shot.
Graham saved it against the shot clock. Alabama ball. Today's telecast brought to you in part by Sonic Drive-Ins. Hillman for 3.
Get in there.
Came out.
Hillman.
And Thornton rebound.
Just like to see Hillman knock one down just to get his confidence up a little bit. He's been a streaky shooter, but has improved in that area in his sophomore year.
Final minute in Baton Rouge. Farr for 3. Hillman to steal and laid in by Torrance. They handled the fast break with numbers that time a lot better.
Yeah, nice pass by Andrew Steele, the senior.
And time now for our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the game.
Well, we've talked a lot about Marcus Thornton. Knocked down a big 3, 20 points in the first half. And the inside out cross-court pass by Chris Johnson. Plays some string music there. Marcus Thornton, a senior out of Baton Rouge.
Our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the game as Alex Farr draws a cheer from the crowd when he makes the free throw. And notches 2. In limited opportunities, he's an 86% free throw shooter. So no surprise, really. As we come to the final 30 seconds. Torrance behind the back. Launch is no good. Knox cleans it up.
I've talked a lot about Justin Knox today, and he's done a lot of good things. And I think, again, he's a key player, especially if Jermichael Green can't come back the rest of the year for Alabama.
Michael Green with the hip pointer suffered on a fall in the first half. Philip Pearson is already down congratulating Trent Johnson right in front of us as the game comes to a close. And so LSU has avenged its only conference loss of the season, an earlier 6-point setback in Tuscaloosa. They win this one easily over Alabama. We'll be back for more